Resident Evil is one of my top 5 favorite video game series of all time. Ever since Resident Evil came out on the PlayStation 1 in 1996, it blew me away with a new style gameplay mixture with horror, mystery, and conspiracy, and it got better with Resident Evil 2 through 4. As for Resident Evil 5 and 6, even though it was a fun game, but the horror aspect has left out in these two in the favor of shoot 'em up, which is trying to be like with Call of Duty, which disappoint the fans that it had no horror in them. All seems lost for the series until Resident Evil 7 was announced after the fallout of Resident Evil 6. It promised to bring the horror back to its place. Now the question is about Resident Evil 7, did the game execute it well and bring the horror back as expected was? Let's find out in my review of Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 is a survival horror title developed and published by Capcom, making this the 24th Resident Evil game. This takes place 3 years after Resident Evil 6, the Call Evil. Anyway, you play as Ethan Winters, a new character who went to Dobie, Louisiana to search for his wife Mia from information which leads him to the abandoned plantation inhabited by the Baker family, and find out what's behind the secrets inside the plantation and his missing wife. This ain't gonna be no easy rescue mission because Ethan about to experience the danger he never seen before. Once inside the plantation, the horror will begin. For the first time ever a story, Resident Evil 7 is written by Richard Percy, the man who is responsible for writing one of the best video games in my opinion, Spec Ops: The Line. The story seems to be B-movie style like older Resident Evil series that was inspired by horror movies. In this title, in my opinion, influenced by the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Blair Witch Project, Evil Dead, Quarantine, and The Exorcist? That's too much. Let's move on. He did a great job making the storyline fresh though, blending with the same elements where Resident Evil would be psychological. It's not perfect, but it's well done. The characters are impressive, especially the Baker family. Jack is my personal favorite because he was probably the most scariest character in this game because of the insanity, humanity, like a version of Nemesis for Resident Evil 3. Nothing can stop this guy. He is so horrifying. I mean, he's the best villain horrifying we ever seen since the old movies from Chainsaw Massacre and other stuff movies. You can't deny that. I mean, he's fucking scary though. Sadly, for a while. Marguerite is just give you the creepy crawlers. I mean, look at this. He is fucking giving you the fucking horror of this one. It's just fucked up. What thing is Lucas is one of the most insane fucking characters since Alpha Ashfield for Resident Evil Code Veronica S, and possibly the new villain in this series. Well, we don't know yet. Hold on. Zoe is a mysterious helper in Resident Evil 7 who talks to you into the phone. Mia is the key of this mysterious horror in this plantation. And the main character, Ethan, is one of those trying to piece together of the puzzles of what's really going on. Resident Evil 7 feels like a standalone title like Resident Evil 4 was, which that was amazingly, admittedly. But it had a nice fresh start with new characters and story, but someone might felt Resident Evil 7 is a reboot, which is not. As much of the gameplay of Resident Evil 7, you know Resident Evil had made its changes from tank styles from 1, 2, and 3 in Code Veronica, over the show review 4, 5, and 6, and etc. And now, Resident Evil 7 is a first-person perspective, with a change to make the horror aspects in FPS, and make a looking for it is very impressive, and has a great favorite to the right for the horror. Ironic, don't you think? Why I say that?
People complain about the controls and the camera angles. Even though it's a revolutionary game, people complain about the camera angles and the tank style controls, which Resident Evil 2 has that, but it got better. And the rest of the games, people complain about it. So Capcom took those criticisms and made Resident Evil Survivor. And how did that turn out? Not so well.
Are you kidding me?
Like I said, ironic.
But in Resident Evil 7, in all odds, it was successful because the atmosphere, psychologically, tension, and the desperation needs of horror, which it needs to revive the series to make a big comeback, and it earns back its place. It senses the danger around the environment and also saying the place you feel helpless, but that's what you feel you need to survive. And that's what Resident Evil is all about since the first one. The graphics are impressive for its own engine, even though it looks last gen, but it still is good on its own right. And also it runs 60 frames per second, which makes the gameplay impressively smooth. The level design has a nostalgic feeling, claustrophobic and suspense, like Resident Evil all over again, which I really happily appreciate. The sound design is very superb because of the creepy atmosphere that totally fits and gives you a bit of jump scares. Some are good. And some of them could be stupid. And finally, the violence of horror is really insane. For instance, oh my god! Oh my god! You bitch! You just caught my head!
It's my job.
Oh god. Oh god. How fucking horrifying! It's a welcoming gift. The game, not the twisted bitch who controls it. And the other thing is, I want to bring this up to it. This is a really uncomfortable moment. If I want to add to it, when you end in the trailer, you have something that you absorb a bra, Zoe's bra. That's kind of feel perverish. If you know what I mean. Move on. Let's move on. The controls of the game is like other first-person perspective with interesting elements, but the aiming will take a lot of practice though to get used to. Don't expect that Call of Duty feeling. I don't know. But hey, practice is made perfect, right? Right? Best of all, there is no quick time events. Yes! Because we don't need them. The players make a choice in their own way. Besides, you can make a right pad of it. And the side of it, quick time events are so goddamn overrated. The items over here are completely scarce and limited, which adds to the critical thinking phases to use them when necessary. To mix with limited items to make strong items when it's necessary for your survival, upgrade for health and reload with those steroids, and finally, the old school item box make its return, but increased spaces will be found when you found backpacks of them. Basically, you had to use them wisely to go further through the process through one hell of a night. After all, it is survival horror. It may borrow the gameplay elements from other games to keep up its time in the series fresh. To keep the series fresh, I mean. But some of the rumors of the people say who worked on the Council PT, the demo transfer to the Capcom to make Resident Evil 7. I don't know if it's true or not, but it could be a theory if you believe in it. Also, in a piece of the gameplay, you can block enemies' attack. Well, it takes the price of your health bar, though. But whatever, it whatever you use as necessary. Also, you can turn 180 degrees, and you won't turn slowly. I guess. The puzzles, however, is, simply average, but not challenging. It felt like a baby's toy. But whatever. There are 4 types of enemies in Resident Evil 7. There are the 3 types of motives. The normal motives that's originally the era of our zombies. The freaking 4-layer motive, who is just really a pain in the fucking ass, even though they're weak, they are still in a pain in the ass. But also worse, the fucking fat motive. That is one of the worst motives you ever encounter. Especially in fucking Ethan Must Die, which in my review of that coming soon for part 2. Anyway, the Baker family, they also has hell. It was a Baker family is really so charmingly well done, and also the bugs. and Lucas's traps.
You have got a good eye.
Pretty much disappointing, but would you rather have more horror or more enemies? Your choice. Let me tell you about Ethan though. Ethan sure expressed a lot of F-bombs.
Ah, fuck! Fuck! The fuck are you, Mia? The fuck is going on? What the fuck are you? Trying to fucking kill me! A fucking pocket knife? Get the fuck out of here. Fuck! Fuck, 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 fuck! Fuck! Fucking bugs. What the fuck? Just fucking stay dead. Fuck you! Fuck! Fuck you too!
The boss, however, is challenging and fun, but there's some parts that was really disappointment at the same time. But my favorite boss battle had to go with Jack Baker, the normal one and the mutated one. The normal one is definitely most epic when you use a chainsaw to fight him. That's probably the most epic boss battle ever that is seen in the video game history. When you fight against a boss with a chainsaw. Totally groovy. And the mutated one, of course, I had a lot of fun with that one. And he was probably the best damn boss ever, to be honest, in my opinion.
Heck of a thing, man. Sure shit beats the hell out of dying.
You can't have a good Resident Evil game where you know there's some damn flaws in the game. Even though the game felt short in someone else's opinion. The cutscenes, however, are great when you play it the first time, but you want to give it a second playthrough, you can't skip them. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. Each keys you found it only unlock 2 of the 3 doors, and you can't discard them. The only way to get rid of them is put them in the item box. The load times can be annoying when you try to load back in the game, and now the beginning of the tapes is understandable, but it takes so damn long to load up at the end of the tape. Why had it take so damn long to get back with his word? Would you finish the tape? And spoiler alert, I hate to add this to the spoiler alert, the final boss is pretty goddamn disappointing. Sorry, but whatever. Overall, Resident Evil 7 is one of the best horror experiences that the series needed to get back on its feet, and it sure earns back to its fans despite the flaws. Resident Evil 7 is worth hell to get to the horror. It is probably the best title ever, the best beginning of 2017. Resident Evil 7, in my opinion, even though I never tried the VR thing because I don't have a virtual reality, but anyway, despite of VR or not, it is probably the best game to play. It's like an exception of it. I don't know why. Resident Evil 7 earned its back, and it surely gets a 9 out of 10. What a great redeemable start for the series. Okay guys, this is JM88 here telling y'all that thank you so much for watching my review of Resident Evil 7. Now, I may miss out some points of the game I did not mention though, but you can figure out on your own when you play the game. It was worth getting, so that's my opinion I'm going to say of it. As I'm not done a review, this is just part 1. Part 2 of my review, where I talk about the DLC, known as the banned footage, Ethan Must Die, Jack's 55th birthday. This is JM88 saying thank you so much. Part 2 of my Resident Evil 7 review is coming soon. So is Part 3, which is not a hero DLC. So, that's what I'm going to say about it. JM88 signing out. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.